In intense game one of the Eastern Conference Final. So the Knicks fall to the Pacers in overtime. Some call things a bad loss. This was the worst loss you can imagine. Knicks seem to have had the game in hand with just minutes to play. They're up 17 with 6 to go before Indiana forced them into overtime with the Pacers taking game one. But tonight at MSG, the Knicks have a chance to tie up the series. But what do they need to do things a little differently this time around? Joining us now, host of the Morning Buzz on CBS Sports HQ, Brandon Baylor. Brandon, good to have you with us. How are you?
Doing good, and hopefully a little bit better when we come talk about the Knicks here. And one thing that we want to say, Chris, small heartbreak. The good news, it's a 7-game series. So the Pacers need to win 4. The Knicks need to win 4. When it comes to this group as a whole, they have a chance. So we'll start there.
All right, yeah, of course. We know they have a chance. They had a really good chance last night, and they blew it. As I just kind of alluded to, there are losses and then there are bad losses. This was a horrendous loss. When you look at this game, you look back at it, what was your biggest takeaway from it?
Well, after the game, Karl-Anthony Towns, he did discuss that, look, we played good 46 minutes. The problem is it was the last 2 that really got in their way. When you're talking about a Pacers team, this is the second scoring offense in the postseason. In any given game, they can put up triple digits. That was the problem. You're allowing them to get shots whenever they want to, get to the basket. Tyrese Halliburton, it does not matter who is their leading scorer. You look at their last series, that starting 5 all led at least one of those 3 or 5 games to get rid of the Cavaliers. So in this side, you have to lean on your defense. That's what's got them there. They've been a top 10 defense the entire season. So you have to lean on that in game 2. And Jalen Brunson just has to do exactly what he did in the scoring department. I know there are 7 turnovers there. You don't want to see that, but that happens sometimes when some of your top guys are trying to force their way and maybe make things happen instead of letting the offense come to them.
Yeah, Jalen, even though he did have 43, it was minus 27 in game one. That obviously could not happen. But let me just get back to what you said about what Kat said after game one, that they played a good first 46 minutes. What game was he watching? That was one of the worst defensive performances I've seen from a playoff caliber team. I mean, Indiana can't. Let's give Indiana credit. They come out, they shoot their first 8 for 8, shooting, and it looks like they're going to run away with things. But I've never seen so many uncontested shots, an inability to guard the three-point line. When Mitchell Robinson's not in there, there is zero toughness on this team.
And I agree with that, too. But here's the other thing, too. Aaron Nesmith is not going to do what he did in that final moment, 6 for 6. So that will not happen in game 2. But I agree. The defense, it has to improve. Your rim protectors, Mitchell Robinson and Kat, they have to defend the paint. Outside of that, OG Anunoby, he was brought in to be that 3-and-D type of guy. But the one person I think that is an X factor, Mikal Bridges. Look, the Knicks trade away a lot, their whole war chest for the future, to bring him in to be that guy. We saw what he did against Boston, some key moments, those turnovers against Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in that series. I think this is the game where he becomes that X factor and maybe ignites that defense for the Knicks here.
That's one thing. You bring up a great point about Bridges, because you talk about a guy who has really come on during this playoff series. Even the other night, he was like the one guy you wanted to have the ball in his hands. So 20-point comebacks are saving grace for the Knicks against Boston. They let this one go this time around. As far as adjustments they need to make, I know we talk about Bridges. We know we talk about making defense a little bit more of a priority. But who do you really have, besides Tyrese Halliburton, who do you really have to attack in Indiana's lineup?
I think you have to have a better matchup. Kat has to do a better job on Miles Turner. I think we overshadow what Miles Turner provides for that team. He's clearly like the second option for them. But if he gets going and he's able to take shots, we saw early in that game, him and Kat were going back and forth. Nobody wanted to defend the three-point line. You cannot do that with Miles Turner. He is a big that can shoot from 20 and 30 feet out. You have to get in his face a little bit. Also, those wings. We forget about Andrew Nembhard. You forget about others like, as I mentioned, Nesmith as well. These guys can shoot. It's a reason why they can get to triple digits, and also they're the second scoring offense. So, again, you have to hang your hat on your defense. You have to play your style of basketball. You cannot allow them to outrace you, because the Pacers, they're hard to keep up with. They can get their shots up and down that court, back and forth.
That was a track meet. Before I let you go, Tyrese Halliburton, was he a little premature with the choke sign? Do you think that may come back to haunt him?
So the funny thing about the basketball fan in me, I love it because it reignites this rivalry between the two. But was it premature? Absolutely. Reggie Miller actually said it after the game, like, okay, all right, they won. It's only game 1. But here's the thing for Knicks fans, Chris, and you know this too. When he did it, it was game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 1994. They lost that series. So maybe history repeats yourself by showing that, and it happens again. So that's what I'm saying. The good thing for the Knicks, you're back at home.
Yeah.
The fans will be 10 times ignited compared to what we saw in game one because they lost that game. So you think, hey, we have to send these guys off so they can get a win on the road.
Yeah.
And with the Knicks, if they sit up here and win this game and then get to a game three on the road, I do not have any doubt in my mind they can win because they're 5-1 on the road. So look, all things in favor. So maybe again that choke does come back to haunt them in game two.
Yeah, if I can quote Meet the Parents, if Florence Nightingale will play some defense, we'll see what happens today. Brandon, thank you. Good to talk with you. Let's see what they can do in game two. We'll talk with you next week.